Hello, I am Mr. Connor, Assistant Principal at Alleghany High School, and I am going to introduce you to Echo. Parents, guardians, you should have access to Echo to see your students' grades, see their work progress, see even communications from the school to students, so you can know what's going on at the school. You can see what's going on with your students, see what work they've submitted, what they haven't submitted. There's a lot there that you can do. So first of all, you're going to want to get to the Echo website, which is right here. It's alleghanyhs.echo-ntn.org. Now, if you're on your student's Chromebook, you can go to the HS Students folder and click on Echo down here. If not, you'll want to go to this web address, which I'll also display on the screen. Okay, once you're there, username and password. So every parent or guardian account is set up for their student's unique student 6-digit student number. So every student has a 6-digit student number, which right now starts with a 1. I've created a separate one for the purpose of this, but it would be this. Let's say your student, their student number is 987-654. Your account to access to see their account will also add a PAR to the end of it. So 987-654 PAR, or 1111 would be the student number, then 1111 PAR would be the username. Okay, now the password is the same. It's the same student number, but instead of PAR, you do 00. So in this case, it would be 987-654-00 would be the password. If you had, say, 111111, that's the student number, it would be those 6 numbers plus 00. So 11111100. So then once you're done, you click login, and now you can choose your student, which is on the list here. If you have more than one student, you have different accounts, just because that's how it was programmed into the system that way, just to make it easier to create the accounts. If you want to see all of your students in one account, shoot me an email, lconnor@alleghany.k12.va.us, and we'll work that out and see if I can make that happen for you. But so you'll log in here, you'll choose your student, and this is their course. All their courses will be listed here. Now each course will have their little card here. You can click up here to see what's going on. You can see their current grade in the class. And then you have a couple of choices here, like the activities. This shows like what work they have. You can see pretty much most of what they can, pretty much anything they can see on their screen. And then you can also check out their grades. You can also change some things here, like choose theme. You can change colors if you don't like the blue. Things like that. So there's also a couple other things. To-do list will show a list of if there are due dates set for any activities, those will show up in this list. And then every time there's something updated for your student, it will show up on here. So in this case, the student submitted an activity, and then they got their grade back. So I will let you take a look at that, what that's going to look like on the gradebook in just a minute. But we'll go back to courses, and we're going to choose this course. Just click on it. And this is their main page. So they're going to have most of the time they have an agenda, kind of telling you what's going on, what they need to do that day or that week. Down here is where all the content is. So these are called folders, and you just click on the arrow, and sometimes a folder picture might be different, but you can look and see what activities they have, either to do or that they're just accessing. A lot of cases it'll be instruction in video form. There might be quizzes. Here's an assignment that the student that we're following right now turned in recently. So you can see what they submitted down here if you want to take a look at what they did. Or you can look at their grade. You have AG and KN, and I'll explain what those in a minute, but they got AG means agency, they got 100% on the agency portion of this, and KN means knowledge and thinking, they got 95% on that. Which means with the agency, they more likely they turned in the work on time or early. they put effort into it. They showed that they are taking ownership of their learning. Really easy grade to get an 100 in if the student stays on top of their work. Knowledge and thinking, this is more your traditional, and I'll get into that in just a minute, your traditional grade. But yes, you can see where their grades are here, and so we'll back out of there. Now let's go take a look at the grades for this class. Now there's a couple ways to do this. You either click here on grades and go straight to the grade book, or over here if you just want to see all their grades, click on this, and it'll take you to the grade book. And the grade book's broken down into 5 different categories. So you have agency, collaboration, knowledge and thinking, oral communication, and written communication. Agency has to do with, like I said, students taking ownership of their learning, turning things in on time, following directions, things like that. Very simple grade, very easy to get a 100 in. That counts for 10% of their overall grade. So each of these are not weighted equally. Collaboration is, you'll have team activities, group activities, and stuff. And so they'll be graded on how they contribute and how they're being a team player as they work with others. Knowledge and thinking, or collaboration is 10% of the grade. Knowledge and thinking is your traditional knowledge, thinking, skills. This is the stuff related to math or science or health or whatever the subject is. This is what your grade used to completely be. Now we're trying to build all these other skills in our students because life is more than just what you know about a subject. Taking ownership of your work, working with others, communicating. Those are vital skills that everybody needs in today's world. So that's why they get graded on all of them. But this is like 50% of your grades. It's still the biggest weight, but it's not your whole grade anymore. Oral communication is, of course, verbal communications, and written communication, of course, is communication writing. Oral communication is 10% of the grade, and written is 20% of the grade. So overall, that comes out to 100%. For instance, you can look here and see not every assignment here or every activity here is going to have a grade. They just, it just depends on what the teacher has set it up for. But within each folder, you'll see the different assignments and activities and stuff. If there's a check by it, it's already been graded, it's already been turned in, it's good to go, and then you can see what they got in each of those. If you see some red, it usually means either that they had a failing grade in one of these categories, or that it was late, or it hasn't even been turned in. So that's a good way to see what your students have and haven't turned in. In this case, this one wasn't turned in, but that's because I was just working as an example. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to your student's teacher as well. One thing I'm going to point out here, and that's where the percentages I was talking about again. If you look here, they're not even. The agency is 100% here, and knowledge is 95% here. If you were to average those out evenly, it would come out to 97.5. But because of the different weights of the categories, it comes out to 95.83, which would be rounded up to a 96 for all intents and purposes for the course. But so that's just kind of an overview. Dashboard just kind of shows how they're doing in each of these categories. And this shows you also the weights for each category as well. Shows you the overall course score. So, let's say you're looking at your students' grades, and they're doing great in everything. They have pretty high marks, and maybe their collaboration's almost nothing. And so that's when you might want to talk to your student and first talk to them, be like, hey, why's your collaboration grade so low? Talk to the teacher, get their version too, because a lot of times the student version differs from the teacher version. But, talk to both the student and teacher. And, you might find out, okay, your student is not really working with the group. They're not contributing. So that's what they need to work on. Or maybe they're doing great in all these other things, but their knowledge and thinking, they might need to study more. They might need more help. They might not understand something. They need to talk to their teacher about it and be like, hey, I don't understand this, rather than just let their grade be low. So this is a good way to help to know where your students' strengths are and what they need to work on and improve on. So I'll back out of there. I'm going to click this home button here. This hamburger menu over here gives you a lot of other features. For instance, communication. So this is where you'll see different information that Mr. Ross or other administrators, counselors, and such will send out And this goes out to all students. You can see it as well, so you are in the know if you want to know what's going on. They're sent out pretty regularly, so it's a good idea to keep a check on that. We'll go back home with all this. And that's essentially the grade book. If you have any issues or any questions, you can reach out to us here at Alleghany High School. And of course, I guess one last thing, you just click in the corner and log out, and that's it. All right. Hope this was helpful to you. And if you have any questions, just reach out to the high school. Thank you.